Good work by the on-field officials and by the replay booth. This is a good play to review. Note the time and the score, so this play clearly might have a competitive impact on the game. Good outcome to allow the call on the field to stand.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The play is under further review. After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Reviewing this potential scoring play is the correct move. Note also that we miss a blocking below the waist foul at about the 35-yard line. In the review, while it might appear it is a touchdown, without a look right down the line, there is no indisputable video evidence for reversal. This is one of those plays where the call on the field will stand in either case.
The ruling on the field stands as called. First down, Stanford.
This is a play that could have been reviewed. The ruling on the field is that the ball was tipped, which erased the DPI foul. Tipping of a pass is reviewable, and given that this was a third down play, it would have been good to stop the game for review.
There is no foul for pass interference. The ball was tipped. Fourth down.
Here's an excellent illustration of why we have instant replay. The score and the clock show what a potentially critical play this is. We can't fault the officials on the field for making the interception call, but it's a good decision by the replay official to reverse the interception.
It's an interception. Previous plays under further review. Ground is an incomplete pass. It'll be Georgia's ball. Second down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds.
The ball carrier clearly should have been ruled down when his elbow and head hit the ground. Good job by replay to correct this mistake. Referees, remember not to say that the call is reversed, but instead say what video review shows and what the situation will be for the next play.
Previous play is under further review.
There were a lot of body parts on the ground.
The runner's knee was not on the ground.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. It's determined that the runner's elbow hit the ground at the 47-yard line. It'll be second and 1 at the 47. Please put 5:10 on the clock. 5:10.
This play is an example where we need to pay attention to competitive impact in determining whether to stop the game for a review. This play is reviewable, but given the score, it is best not to stop the game except for a coach's challenge, especially since it is not a scoring play nor a change of possession.
The ruling on the field was a completed catch at the sideline. That ruling is under further review.
Take a look.
After further review, it was an incomplete pass. It will be 4th and 10 at the 43-yard line. Please adjust the game clock to 3 minutes, 45 seconds.
We show this play as a reminder that if we're going to review a play, replay needs to stop the game before the snap on the next play. In this case, the replay official apparently doesn't buzz the field until the next play is well underway or almost over.
Before the snap, the officials are notified that that previous play is under review. After review, the ruling on the field stands. It'll be first and goal at the 1-yard line for Mount Union. Please reset the game clock to 13 minutes and 2 seconds. 13:02 on the game clock. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
The ruling on the field is that the kicking team recovers this onside kick before the player goes out of bounds. The issue is one of control, just like completing the catch of a pass. To allow the on-field ruling to stand is a good outcome.
The onside kick was recovered by the kicking team. First down. The ruling on the field is under further review. Yeah. After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Toledo.
Good job to call this a fumble and an excellent play to review. The passer needs to have the ball in his control as he starts the hand forward if it is to be ruled a pass. Good review leads to the correct outcome.
Ball was out for
further review. The ruling on the field was a fumble and a touchdown by the defense.
Yeah, and up. Here we go.
Touchdown.
The ruling on the field is an interception. This is a good play to review as it could have a competitive impact on the game. Good outcome and a good announcement by the referee.
Previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field was an interception by the defense. After further review, it was determined that the ball hit the ground as an incomplete pass. It will be fourth down. Would the clock operator please put 5 minutes and 42 seconds on the game clock? Thank you.
This is a play to start the second half, where the ruling on the field is a fumble and recovery by the defense. Good work by the on-field officials and a good review to allow the play to stand.
Which is a fumble. Was a fumble.
I agree.
Recovered by the defense. The previous play is under review. After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down, UCF.
Here's a scoring play where the ball comes out very close to the goal line. This is good work by the side judge to hustle and get to the goal line. Good review and outcome to let the play stand, as the video evidence is not conclusive either way.
Previous play is under review. After review, the ruling on the field stands. A touchdown.
This is an example of a play that we see occasionally where the ball carrier appears to roll over bodies, and the question is whether he touched the ground to be down. It is hard to fault the official on the field, and of course good to review the play.
The previous play is under review. The ruling on the field was that the runner was down 1 yard short of the goal line. After review, the runner was on top of the defensive players and never was down, breaking the goal line. Touchdown.
Note the situation on this play. 4th and goal in the 4th quarter of a tight game, and the ruling on the field is a touchdown. This is a play that the replay official should have stopped for the review, rather than the coach having to challenge. Good job to reverse the ruling as the ball carrier was down short of the goal line. Good announcement by the referee.
Timeout, Western Kentucky. Their first charge timeout.
So Western Kentucky uses their first.
After review, it was determined that the runner was down at the half-yard line. Therefore, Western Kentucky will have the ball 1st and 10. Western Kentucky is not charged with a timeout.
This play gives us a good example of the need to complete the process of the catch on a completion or an interception, and I refer you to the new language in Rule 2 about making a catch. Good job by the referee to mention the process of the catch in his announcement.
There, it's between his legs. The previous play is under further review. After review, the defender did not complete the process of the catch. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It will be 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
The ruling on the field is that the ball carrier was down before the ball came out. This is a good example of a situation where we might think that the ball was already out, but the video evidence is not 100%. Thus, the ruling on the field stands.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down with possession of the ball. The previous play is under further review. After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. 1st down at the 3-yard line.
The ruling on the field is an interception, and there is a foul for blocking below the waist on the return. Here we have a good example of enforcing the penalty for a personal foul, even though the ruling is overturned to an incomplete pass, which makes the low block a dead ball personal foul. We enforce penalties for personal fouls as well as unsportsmanlike conduct fouls. All other penalties are declined by rule.
Ruling on the field, we have an interception and a touchdown. However, during the play, we have an illegal block below the waist by the original offense, number 19. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. After review, the ball hit the ground before the ball was intercepted. Therefore, we have an incomplete pass. However, we will still enforce the dead ball personal foul on number 19 from the previous spot.
That's
It'll be
huge.
third down at the 13.5-yard line.
On this play, the ball is snapped into the end zone and there's a potential for a safety. The ruling on the field is a touchdown for the defense. Replay should have gotten involved to determine what the outcome should be.
There is no foul for the defensive nose guard in the neutral zone. Ruling on the field as the ball was fumbled and recovered by Rutgers in the end zone for a touchdown.
Here's another example of a play involving a personal foul. The ruling on the field is a touchdown, and there's a personal foul by the offense in the end zone. The ruling is reversed to a fumble out of bounds, and the referee announces that the penalty for the personal foul is enforced, placing the ball back outside the 15-yard line.
After further review, the ball was fumbled out of bounds at the half-yard line. The ball being placed after the 15-yard penalty. It'll be third and goal from the 15.5-yard line.
Here we have an example of a reviewable play when the ball carrier has been ruled down. Since there is a clear recovery in the immediate continuing action, the play is reviewable. Referees, remember that a part of your initial announcement is to announce the ruling on the field.
The previous play is under further review. After further review, the player fumbled the ball. Air Force recovered it. Therefore, it's 1st and 10 for Air Force at the 35-yard line.
This is a good review. It's 4th and goal early in a close game, so change of possession is a possibility as well as a potential score. Good work on the field. The head linesman has good mechanics, gets a good look, and sells the call. Also, good job by the replay booth.
Further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner's knee was down with the ball short of the goal line. 1st down and 10, West Virginia.
This is a good review as a result of the coach's challenge. The game could have been stopped by the replay booth since the play resulted in a turnover, but it's clear from the line feed that it's a fumble and not a forward pass. Replay quickly confirms the ruling on the field, and the referee does a nice job of explaining things.
The ruling on the previous play was a fumble recovered by the defense. The head coach for West Virginia is challenging that ruling.
Arm is coming forward.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The ball was fumbled with the recovery by the defense. West
I agree with that call.
Virginia charges a timeout. The head coach uses one challenge for this game.
This play could have been reviewed under the rule allowing clock situations to be reviewed at the end of the half. In 2013, this is now reviewable at the end of any quarter, not just the second or fourth. Replay should have stopped this for review as the superimposed TV clock appears to show that 1 second remained when the ball hit the ground.
That was fourth down. He spiked the ball. The clock expired. Time expired. That is the end of the half.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The replay official reverses it to a catch and a touchdown, ruling that the receiver completed the process of a catch.
Ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The play is under further review.
The rule book says, well,
the ruling on is that it's a touchdown.
This is a very close play. The official on the field is in good position to make the ruling that the receiver did not touch the ball. The video evidence is not conclusive, so the ruling on the field is allowed to stand. Deep officials, it will be very helpful to give the illegal touching signal on a play like this to make clear why the receiving team will have the ball when the kickers recover.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Here's a play where we really benefited from instant replay, although it should not have been necessary. Clearly, the field goal attempt is no good, wide left, and this should have been seen on the field. Good to get this corrected by replay.
Previous play is under review.
As it should
ruling
be.
on the field was the kick was inside the upright.
Spoken like a Purdue graduate.
The kick was outside the upright. The ball will be placed at the 21-yard line. First down, Georgia Tech.
The ruling on the field here is a catch and fumble. We can see from the line feed that the receiver never had control of the ball. This is a good reversal by the replay official.
Following the video review, it's been determined the pass is incomplete. Fourth down. Clock operator, set the clock to 8:28.
Sorry. I know you did a good job.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The side judge gets to the goal line in good shape to see the play. The issue is whether the ball carrier was down before the ball broke the plane of the goal line. This is a good decision by replay to let the on-field ruling stand.